What is the simple secret that basically helps you build a $10,000 per month business? This is something I've been researching for quite a few years, and I found there's three main things that you need to look at when it comes to building a $10,000 per month business. And it's a lot simpler than a lot of people make, especially those so-called experts and gurus that are online. So I want to quickly share those while I've just been out here, and I thought this is something that is quite relevant in today's times. So the first thing is really being very specific about your value. And what I mean by that is, what is a particular product or service that you can really offer that really benefits a group of people? Now, this offer is something that doesn't have to be very complicated. It can be something that's very simple, such as a course, where you believe it's going to really add value to a certain select group of people. So let's just take, for example, someone who is an expert in guitar or playing the guitar and wants to obviously provide lessons when it comes to playing guitar the right way. You could basically create a very simple online digital course that takes them through certain steps around what are some of the things that help them become a better guitar player and optimize as a guitar player. Now, let's just say, for example, you had to, sell that course for something like $100, which is really not a lot. Now, if you land up obviously selling, hundreds of those in a month, that essentially makes up your 10,000. Now, I'm using a very simple example. There's a lot of different aspects that go behind it. It's not as simple as just getting to 100 sales within the first month. There's a lot of different things you need to learn, but that brings me to my next point, which makes the process a lot simple, and that is around your target audience. So if you're someone that is a specialist in a guitar-based lesson or providing lessons around guitars and playing the guitar, you want to find specific individuals that are really looking for that kind of help. Let's just say, for example, you're looking at ways to attract the right sort of audience, and you start building a YouTube channel. Now, the assumption is that a lot of people feel you need to have a very big YouTube channel. When I say big, in terms of the number of subscribers and obviously the number of views. Of course, it helps that if you have quite a few views, then obviously you get more traction in terms of your channel. But let's just say, for example, that you do start building some content which just gives some tips and guides around what is the best way to play a guitar. You could have maybe hundreds of people, not necessarily thousands of people, that are watching that channel that are very specifically looking for those tips. Now, those individuals, if they happen to start purchasing your course, over time you could build an audience that could be, let's say, around 1,000 or so. And what that basically tells you is that you don't need to have a massive channel, because you could actually build a business where you are attracting the right types of people through the information that you're sharing, and obviously providing of value firstly from a free perspective, but then over time, because of the value that you provided, people start seeing you as an expert and as authority in that specific area. So the moment someone sees that you're someone that really knows what you're speaking about when it comes to, for example, providing tips and playing a guitar the right way, then once they see that you are someone that can offer something a lot more from a value perspective, this is where obviously you can present your course. And the course, as I said, is something that can be very simple. It doesn't have to be very complicated. It's just something that, over time, you can obviously improvise and make a lot better once you start seeing some of the areas you can improve on that. So we've spoken about a simple product or offering, which you can create. Then obviously the second thing is speaking about the target audience that is very specific to your particular area of expertise. And the third thing essentially is that speaks to the simple secret of generating a $10,000 per month business, is basically just looking at the type of activity that is going to obviously attract those individuals. So I've spoken about, for example, YouTube as a source of traffic where you can obviously get those individuals. The best way essentially is to find one simple technique that really works for you and really build on that over time. So if I'm that person who's obviously building out a YouTube channel, I obviously want to keep building specific type of YouTube videos or content that specifically speaks about different areas. So if I take the example of a guitar expert. I could obviously speak around aspects around, having the right strings on a guitar, or the way you tune a guitar, which then obviously leads to other areas around how to be more effective as a guitar player. And the thing is that a lot of people think that they need to start obviously having a specific type of channel where they need to maybe have 100,000 people. But what they don't realize is that if you just have, let's say, 1,000 odd people that are subscribers of your channel, out of that, maybe 500 people actually are really interested in what you have to offer. Now, those 500 people can essentially become people that are loyal customers to you, that buy your initial course, and then obviously from there they actually start looking at other areas where they want help. So maybe someone reaches out to you and they want some help from a consulting perspective. Now, you could a high value based course or consulting offer where obviously your expertise is more sought after, and because of that, you're able to start charging a lot higher. So you didn't have to wait for a situation where you had hundreds of thousands of people that are following you, or let's just say hundreds of thousands of leads, in order for you to generate a $10,000 business. And I think this is also something from my own experience that was a big problem for me, where I thought it was really just about attracting a lot of leads without realizing that sometimes it's really just the quality of the lead or the prospect that is interested in your business or your product or service that you are offering. And there is really a simple way, obviously, to get to that $10,000 magic mark. But again, also I want to stress, it's not a magic pill that'll just happen, within a short time frame of say 3 to 6 months. If you build to the point where you have got a sustainable business lasting for the last 3 to 5 years, eventually you'll get to that point where you start hitting a $10,000 per month mark. But it might be in year one you only are doing about $1,000 a month, but then as you're building in year two, maybe $3,000, year three, $5,000, and so on. So it's something that gradually becomes exponential. But hopefully these are tips that really kind of help you think about the approach to a business model that helps you earn $10,000. And especially if you're an affiliate marketer that is looking at ways to create a simple model where obviously your product or service is giving you the kinds of returns that you're expecting.